Do you have the courage to take the first step? Hello everyone, it's Leo and it's time to talk about episode 25, the amazing episode 25 from You and Idol PreCure. Nana slayed, baby. How I love Cure Wink. How amazing this episode was. My jaw is on the floor. I loved it. I got emotional. I got happy. And I feel like You and Idol is really, really nailing it in almost all fronts. I'm not going to say all fronts because sometimes the fighting scenes are a little boring, but in every other aspect, it is really killing it. And how amazing this was today. So we start the episode with Nana in her house playing the piano. And today's episode was the Mabataki no Gosenfu overdose. And I'm happy because this is one of my favorite songs from the show. Ooh, girl. And she was playing it in the piano. The rain was falling and she was thinking about their interaction that she had with Zakuri. One interesting thing is that we have the word Zakuri, and it's a very important word for today's episode, for everything that happened in this episode. Zakuri meaning roughly, meaning something that is not done perfectly, that is not done cleanly. And this was very important for later. We're going to get there. Obviously, we're just at the start. And Nana's playing the piano. She's thinking about their interaction. And then on the next day, the girls arrive at her house. We see some pictures of her mom. And she also brings some French sweets to the girls. Lots of macarons. Is that a Cure macaron reference? I'm joking. The girls are eating. The fairies are eating. Everyone is having a good time. They are enjoying themselves. And they decide to go to a sunflower field, which is something that Uta sees in an ad. And when they decide to go, they get on a bus and they sit all together. And Nana sits on the other side, close to the window. She's looking at the window. We first have a little interaction between Puridun and Maruran. Puridun and Maruran are together in the bag, and Maruran gives a sweet to Puridun. Puridun eats it, and then Maruran eats it, and she's like, okay, I brought this because this is our little moment together. I wanted to share this sweet moment with you. Uta's looking, Maruran gets all angry. It's like, don't look at us. And then they start noticing that Nana is a little aloof. She's a little away of everything. I am highlighting this scene of Maruran because I feel like Maruran is relevant in today's episode, and I feel like she's going to keep on being relevant for something that we've been discussing. I'm going to get there later. She's looking at the window. Nana is looking at the window, and she is just there, just watching things going by. And the girls notice that she's not interacting as she usually does. And then she starts talking about Zakuri. And she says something that, for her, it's nothing special. She says that based on what they went through, she was very sad and she was shocked when Zakuri told her he hated her. But at the same time, during another interaction, he told her that he was very thankful that she was looking over him, that she was paying attention to him. So he was thankful that she was taking care of him, basically. So she was confused and she wanted to talk to him. And at that point, the show acknowledges, it makes it clear, something I've been talking a lot about when it comes to Nana's character. Nana is very attentive to other people. She is always noticing little things about the others, and she is always paying attention to her surroundings. And this time, Kokoro says it. Kokoro's like, that is our Nana. That is the person that is always taking care of others, that's always so caring about others. And then Nana says something very interesting as well, which is the courage, the first step. Before meeting the You and Idol girls, she said that she would probably, if she had this interaction with Zakuri, she would probably wonder about him. She would probably think about him, but she would never have the courage to take the first step, to take action. Nana was able to start taking action in things about her life after she met everybody, after she became Cure Wink. That was the power of the influence of the others over her, and that is how she blossomed her personality. That is something that we have been constantly seeing in the show in small doses, and that culminated in this episode and in her actions in this episode. We see Nana taking care of people, Nana asking about people, Nana going and taking action to try to do something to help somebody. And we saw that in other episodes that were not necessarily related to her. And now we see a big action being taken in an episode that was related to her. So I loved it. But when Nana was telling all of this, we have Merodon interacting. I love this because Merodon does not interact. Merodon only interacts when it's about Purirun. When Purirun wants to do something, Merodon is already together with Purirun. She wants to be with Purirun all the time. But this time, Merodon looks at Nana and says, darkness and light do not mix. Leave him alone. Zakuri is darkness. Nana is, by being a PreCure, she's light. They do not mix. They don't have to interact. They don't have, their worlds don't need to get closer. And so that leaves Nana thinking, but that is also a step for Merodon, because Merodon does not care about others apart from Purirun, and this topic has absolutely nothing to do with Purirun. And you can say Merodon is just complaining. Merodon is just being someone that is trying to hinder Nana, trying to take Nana, to not make Nana interact with Zakuri. But I see it in another way. Merodon is opening up. She is dealing with other things that are not necessarily Purirun. I love it. And then they get to the to the sunflower field. They have a lot of fun. They take lots of pictures. Purirun gets lots of pictures taken by Merodon. I love the Purirun pictures. Purirun is such a diva. And then the girls take some pictures, and then they find someone to take a picture for them. And that person is actually the owner of the sunflower field. And she says that it's very hard to take care of the sunflowers. There's a lot of work when it comes to taking care of the sunflowers. But she is, this is a work that makes her happy. She always gets happy when she sees the sunflowers blooming, when she sees the sunflowers leaning over the sun, when she sees people happy when they're visiting the sunflowers, and it brings them lots of smiles. And it makes Nana think, well, this is her job. She loves it. It brings her smiles. When it comes to Zakuri working, does he like it as well? Does he like being part of Team Chokiri? And then we see a little interaction with Team Chokiri. We see Zakuri and Chokirine. Zakuri asks if Chokirine is going to attack finally. Like, she needs to attack at least once. She gets super angry and she just throws him to attack. And girl, he comes in. He's walking. He is tired. There's a lot of sun. And while he is walking, a mysterious man appears. And when this mysterious man appears, he says he sees that Zakuri is having a hard time attacking and dealing with the PreCures. And he says, this might be a problem for Lady Dark Ine. Who is this man? He's very mysterious, but he is very interesting already. I cannot wait to see him clearly without that coat on, without that hood on. Come on. And before we go on, it is time for another idol corner. This time, a special one talking about a Kaigai idol. Kaigai idols are international idols. International in relation to Japan. They're not Japanese, but they do idol activities, singing, dancing, and performing in Japanese songs, or their own original songs in Japanese as well. Check it out. In today's Idol Corner, we're going to talk about Paida. Paida is a Kaigai idol that is based in Texas. With a persona that's out of this world, her aesthetic is that of an alien, and she describes herself as a dystopian pop idol. Paida's songs all have a fresh feel, utilizing a mix of electronic and cute vibes. Her journey as a Kaigai idol has met a lot of success from the public, bringing her kawaii alien persona to lots of different places. She even performed in Japan for a total of 5 times, and there's surely more to come in her career. Paida is definitely an idol that's worth supporting. Paida song recommendations are Planet Killer, Secret Moon, Future Town. I love Paida and I think she is super endearing. I love her work. It's amazing. And now coming back to the episode, the girls have a picnic. We have Maruran disputing with Uta, and Maruran does like this super huge octopus sausage to Purirun, and she's like, heh, heh, heh. She's boasting to Uta all of her power, and they all sleep after eating too much. And then Nana, she stands up and she says, I'm roughly going to take a walk, which is Zakuri in Japanese. And they're all a little confused, especially Purirun, who is shocked. And when she goes to take a walk, she's there just chilling. She starts singing Mabataki no Gosenfu once more. And while she is there walking, Zakuri is also walking through the sunflower field. And Zakuri has the handkerchief that Nana gave him the other day. He is troubled because he needs to give it back. And he is pissed at himself for saying that he hates her. He did not want to hurt her. And he's ready to meet her and give her back the handkerchief and say he is sorry about what he said. Well, he thought he was ready. But that is a hard thing. That is a hard thing for everybody, especially for people who end up saying things they don't necessarily mean because of their personality. Fate brought both of them together. Zakuri and Nana meet each other again. But Zakuri, roughly doing everything, unfortunately makes the handkerchief fall. And the handkerchief falls into a puddle and it gets all dirty. At that point, Zakuri was already feeling down on himself, not because he's tired from his job, but because of what he told Nana. And he knows that she does not deserve it. Everything she was doing was to help him. Finally, someone was able to look at him and to have an honest to at least try to have an honest conversation with him. And he did not accept it. He reciprocated it with rough feelings. And the handkerchief got all dirty. Everything he wanted to say, the forgiveness he wanted to ask, he could not do it. He ruined it all, as he says he does with everything in his life. At that point, he was hating himself even more. He got the handkerchief back. He was trying to clean it up while Nana started singing Mabataki no Kosenfu once again. She wanted to have a conversation with him. And at that time, she was able to look at him and see he was glowing. He was shining. But then that mysterious man appeared and he said some interesting stuff. When he looked at Zakuri, he thought that it was an interesting opportunity, and so he was ready to create a new monster with Zakuri. But then he said, even in light, there is darkness. This is a phrase that goes directly against what Maruran said, and I feel like it might be related even to Maruran's existence. Not necessarily Maruran, but remember, Kiraki Land is a place of light, and Maruran, a figure of darkness, is or was in Kiraki Land before. She was born in Kiraki Land. And so what I think he is trying to say is that even in light, there is going to be darkness. Maruran is an example of that. It's not that where there is light, there is only light, and where there's only darkness. There's always going to be a mix, even if it's just a little bit. And that is a contradiction to what Merodon has been saying so far, which makes her wrong, which makes me believe that she is going to become a light character at some point, or a dark character that has some light as well. She is going to be able to recognize her own light. Zakurinda was created. He looks like a duck. He looks really stupid. And I mean, Zakuri was always stupid, so I get it. And then the other girls arrive, they all transform, and the battle starts. When I said at the start of the video that I think the battle was like weird, is that okay, so what happens is that we start the battle with Zakun and Kiss using their minor attacks. And while I do think their minor attacks are super well animated, I really think that it's way nicer when the idol precures use their minor attacks. Because Zakun and Kiss, their attacks are basically stock footage, and when the attack hits, it's just stock footage again. But the idol precures, on the other hand, the minor attacks are stock footage, but when they hit, it's always a different animation, and that is a nice thing. For example, today we were able to see Cure Idol punching. We were able to see Cure Kyun's laser hitting, not too much, but a little bit. So after the four of them used their minor attacks, we see Cure Kiss saying something like, oh, he's a formidable opponent. Why is he a formidable opponent? Like, he didn't even hit them. Why was he seen as a strong opponent? Like, was he really? I mean, I didn't understand why. And then at that point, Cure Wink is there and in front of the four, and she looks at Cure Kiss and says, you told me light and darkness don't mix, right? And Cure Kiss confirms it, but then she just says that it doesn't matter that they don't mix. She still wants to talk to Zakuri, and that is what she is going to do. And she takes the first step once again. In Wink's life, in Nana's life, she was never really able to take the first step. She always stood in the same place. Now that she is a PreCure, she is able to take action. This started in the third episode of the show, in which she was able to take a step forward and become Cure Wink in a very big act of courage, and that kept on happening. It happened in episode 9 when she took lots of different actions that came out of her comfort zone. It got to a point in which she helped, or at least she tried to become a closer, or at least talk to Merodon to understand what was going on and to see if there was a way to help Uta and her sadness. She was always paying attention to other people. She was the one who suggested Tanaka would take a break and the girls would help him in this break. All of those details that have been going on along the show have really made Nana shine. And now she was able to take a big step forward. She wanted to talk to Zakuri. And even in this beastly or funny robot form that he was in, she was able to talk. He was attacking, but girl, Wink Barrier, in all of its glory, it was there protecting her while she said what she had to say. She wanted to understand Zakuri. She wanted to understand his point of view, and he was able to explain it. In his life, everything was rough. He was never able to be clear to people. He was always roughly connecting to people. He was always roughly dialoguing, and that made him hurt so many people around him. Because of that, working with Team Chokiri that would bring darkness everywhere was the best place for him. And I like this little metaphor here because obviously this does not exist in real life. Team Chokiri does not exist in real life. But sometimes people make the wrong decisions and people go certain routes that might not be the best for them or for the people around them. because they don't know how to open up. They don't know how to connect to other people. They're always roughly going by life. And I found that incredible. I found that so real. And I understand Zakuri. But that's not the place where he wanted to be. When he saw someone really looking at him, not roughly looking at him, but really cleanly looking at him and offering a helping hand, he started to notice that that was not the place he wanted to be. And that's exactly when Nana appeared in his life. Curewink jumped and she performed Mabataki no Kosenfu. And she finished it with her own solo attack. I was blown away. I was not expecting that, okay? I was not expecting that. And you might say, Curewink is not strong enough to do that. But you have to remember, we had Cure Idol, Cure Kyun Kyun, Cure Kyun, and Cure Kiss rooting for her with their Kiraki lights. Just like I am right now because I love Curewink so much. Oh my god. So incredible. I was so happy. Mabataki no Kosenfu is my favorite of the solo songs. I love it. I love all three, but that one is my favorite. So I was so happy to see it again. Now I wonder if the other girls are going to have the same opportunity. I believe they will. It was really, really incredible. I loved it. And then we have the villain going away. And this new villain is very mysterious based on the ending. He is called Jogi. But no idea. I have seen certain similarities over him and Kaito. The hair color is a little similar. It's not the same. Kaito's hair is a little bit lighter. Kaito has an earring in one of the ears and Jogi has the earring on the other. I wonder if they are related somehow. If there is some relation to both of them, I'm gonna scream. And girl, I have screamed after this great performance from Curewink. What a moment we had here. It felt like a final episode of a character. You know those final episodes that we get at the end of the season? It really felt like one for Wink today to me. I really liked it. It was incredible. And at the end, we see that Zakuri is there with the handkerchief and it's all dirty. And he tells her that everything he does is wrong. Look at how dirty it became. She got it. She cleaned it. And she put it up in the air and said that the sun it's a very hot day, and so the sun is going to make it perfect again. It's going to be dry in no time. A perfect metaphor for being able to come clean after you make bad decisions, after you take bad actions. There are some things in life that you can take back and have a second chance. And so at the end, we see that he tells her that he's going to leave Team Chokiri and now he's going to have to look for a job. It's a nuisance. And he also tells her that he is now a huge fan of Curewink. Just like me, just like you, just like us. We all love Nana. And at the end, she gives him back the handkerchief. And he blushes and he runs away by saying that he hates her. And Kokoro's like, he can't be honest. He is a big fan of Nana as well. And the girls tease him before he runs away too. And we finish the episode with a very beautiful shot of Nana. But before that, we have a little Madoran moment. A little focus on Madoran with the camera. And this is what I am saying. Madoran is starting to understand other characters. She is starting to see that there is a world outside Purirun. And I think that they are going very, very slow with this, which makes a lot of sense for her character, just like they did with Yuki in Wonderful. But they started working with Yuki a little earlier than Madoran. And now we are dealing with a little bit, with sprinkles of Metatron here and there. And I'm happy because she is one of my favorites and I'm crazy about Metatron. Anyways, what an episode, baby. What a moment. Nana deserved it. We deserved a moment like this for UN Idol, and this season keeps on being stellar. I loved it. Anyways, babies, this is it for now. I want to take this little time to thank the members of the Magical Cinnamon channel. Trace, I hope you're happy because I know Nana is your favorite. Anyways, if you're a member here on YouTube, on Patreon, on Throne, thank you very, very much. And if you've watched up to now, thank you so much as well. Wink, wink, wink.